Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. In this episode, I'm going to do an unboxing of the Deep Madness expansion, The Faces of the Sphere by Diemension Games. And I'm also going to take a look at this storage box called Profundum, which is designed to hold everything that you previously got with Deep Madness. And they also have this extra Kickstarter exclusive investigator, Lucas Kane, that I'm going to show you. So let's start with opening up that box. Alright, so Deep Madness, The Faces of the Sphere expansion by Diemension Games. Let's start with Lucas Kane, the exclusive that came with this package. So I'll quickly open him up. Alright, so inside this little package is some paperwork and a miniature. So the paperwork here, Lucas Kane, it has his card and a smaller card. So let's take a look at those. If it wants to come out, that is. Right, so Lucas Kane, I'll bring that up close. So here is his portrait. That's basically all that is on this card. And then you have these cards here. So his health and his mental health, his sanity. This is the French card, German card, Spanish card, another one. So, well, one might be Portuguese, I'm not sure. So basically, you get one card in several languages with a bit of a bio on the back. Okay, so we have those cards and then the figure itself. So let's take a look at that. Here he is, Lucas Kane. His hands spread out and he's got a jacket on with some straps there. And this is the back of that cloak. So it's nicely detailed. It's in a dark brown, like the figures in the core game as well. Pretty good detail there. Really like the quality of these minis. So that is Lucas Kane. Let's take a look at the Faces of the Sphere expansion box. So on the cover of the box at the front, you can see this big sphere here and all kinds of weird stuff just coming out. Here's an explorer. So yeah, let's take a look at the back of the box. There's not a whole lot to see here. It has a Cthulhu-like monster on the back of the box. And it's for ages 14 and up, plays in about 90 to 120 minutes for 1 to 6 players. Right, let's open up the box. Okay, so in the box there is an expansion overview, a list of components, and there's it's in plastic, so I'll just open it up. Probably just a fold out. Oh, it's separate. Yeah, multiple languages again, of course. So it's just one page even, with the visage variant. So this is all you need to know, apparently, to play with this expansion. It tells you the visages do not make the game more difficult. Instead, they add a new element of chaos to the game. Their effects can be helpful or damaging to investigators and monsters alike, and killing one of them will bring its own rewards. Alright, so in several languages there. So there we have these different visages, these new models, and it is stuck in there with a piece of tape, so I'll just take that out completely. So let me just get rid of the tape there, and there you go. All right, so let's start with the dice, shall we? I love dice. Hooray for dice. So we have one of these new monster dice. This time it's a red marbled color. Looks really nice. That's pretty cool. It's technically the same as the one in the base game, just in a different color. And we get 6 of these dice. Also very lovely in a green marbled color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with a shield. Nice. Love that color. Alright, let me just put that one back in here. So, then we get a stack of cards. We have these big cards with the different characters in it. Shall I just open that up then? Alright, let's take a closer look at these. So I'm not going to read them all, of course. I'm just going to show them to you. So Arthur Wayland, Felicia Armitage, well, in this horrible state. So these Jared Drake, these are the explorers on the underwater nautical station that got consumed by their nightmares. Randy Carter, Roman Asimov, Samuel Smith, Ward Phillips, who's kind of like H.P. Lovecraft with Cthulhu coming out of the book, Jacob Clark, Hannah, and here's another Arthur Wayland in different languages. Okay, so yeah, again, we get everything in multiple languages. So let's see where it started again so we can put those back. There we go. So these are all in different languages. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, as are there are also 9 miniatures, so that makes sense. And then we have these smaller cards, which I will open as well. So we have a card that says the Metamorphosis, and we have the Mother of the Inferno. They all have the same backs. I'll just go through them like this. Spiders in Oil, Gaping Midnight. Well, then we have some blue cards here. The Mighty Fall, Pregnant Flames, Bullies, Nyctophobia, etc. And then we start again in different languages. So this is the pack of cards that you get with the game in your chosen language. So let's take a look at those cool looking miniatures, shall we? So here's one. So that's pretty cool. That's a person bent backwards, walking on hands and feet. Something like out of The Exorcist, with tentacles coming out everywhere. So that looks very, very horrible. Certainly something of which nightmares are made, which is kind of like the whole theme here. So the second mini here, again, a person completely transformed. You can still see the legs, and the hands have mutated into tentacles. The chest is opened. So that's the second miniature. There's plenty of detail there. It's in a kind of like a grape color. Very light purple. And that does seem to bring out the details well enough. So this is a pretty cool one. So we have the Explorer here with the old-fashioned diving helmet on, and behind her is her nightmare. So big giant head with these hands coming out. That is pretty cool. Large miniature. All right, next is this one. So this is, you know, a person and his nightmare. Two of them standing on a base. He's got his helmet over there. And he's still looking okay. But he's, yeah, he's held by the hand by his nightmare with all kinds of creepy talons and tentacles, and there's tentacles even coming from the floor. That looks really cool. It's a lot of detail there. Very nightmarish indeed. So what do we have here? We have a person holding a briefcase, and this guy is being transformed as well. There's, you know, tentacles everywhere where arms used to be, and extra as well, extra tentacles, extra limbs. And out of the briefcase there must be some kind of pocket dimension, because there's hands and tentacles coming out there as well. So yeah, cool. The sixth miniature, this guy all bloated and big, decomposing, and he's got like barnacles all over him. And he's carrying a victim there. Maybe that's the body of the person whose nightmare has come. Just, you know, grabs him by the upper half of the body, and that's all there's left. Presumably cut in half by these large scissor-like appendages. So that's pretty cool. Got saw blades everywhere and gears and a cage on the head. Very nice. Alright. Nightmare number 7. So this big looking guy, kind of like a big lanky slender man kind of person, holding a what seems like a doll or a small child, but if I look closely at the head, I hope that focuses somewhat. I don't know if I can get that to focus sharply. Kind of looks like Chucky. Like, you know, child's play. Creepy looking doll. So a very cool pre-sculpted base with all kinds of, you know, doll heads, and there's a bear over there, teddy bear head. So yeah, another nightmare. All right, then we have this one. Also very weird looking. Doesn't have a pre-sculpted base, only stuff on the base. So there's the remnants of a human body, but instead of a head, there's, you know, again, stuff. It's like the head split open or something. And there's tentacles. Again, a big large blob there at the bottom. And there's two of these funny looking creatures sitting at the base. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's this one. Also a lot of detail. There's plenty of stuff to discover and to paint there. And finally, this one, who is sitting in his chair, and his head is over there, just to the side, screaming. His hands are bound to the chair, and so are his legs. And out of the book that is on his chest comes this Cthulhu-like nightmare, and some arms grabbing him, it seems. So that's pretty awesome. There's even some detail in the back here. That's really nice. So yeah, very cool. Lots of big big miniatures in here, 9 of them. And they're larger than, you know, the regular miniatures. They're all very special nightmares there, compared to, you know, just one regular figure here, just to show you the size. These are all pretty big. Even the smaller ones is, well, the smallest one is more or less human-sized. Oh, if that gets into focus there. And the rest is all quite a bit bigger. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the Profundum box. So, the Deep Madness Profundum box, which was a stretch goal, and it is a large box. Now, mind you, this is just a box. There's only inserts inside, trays, basically. So, this is meant to store just about all the stuff that you get with the Madness, everything from the core game, the expansions, except the miniatures. This is made for all the tokens, the cards, you name it. So we got this tray here. All right, we have this tray, and we have a list that shows you what goes where, and a bottom tray right here, along with Evil John and his 9 lives. Cool. Evil John statues and card pack, which is the cat, which kind of was, I think if I remember correctly, there was a cat miniature, but it got made in the wrong color. It got made in gray, so they added a brown one as well, because brown is the color of all the survivors, the player characters. And then people also had a gray cat, Evil John. So yeah, because the gray was the color of the miniatures, the monsters, they made an Evil John version, which is pretty cool. So we get cards for that as well. So let's take a look at this. Here is the opening. And again, they made this in several languages, so you only need the English one here. There's a triple leaflet. So it has an extra scenario even, which is a starting scenario, I believe, which is easier than the starting scenario in the core game, because it's pretty hard, I hear. So you can start with this. There's a clarification for Chapter 4. There was some confusion about that. And there's an easy mode there as well, a muted horrors variant. So some different ways to play the game. Here's a Faces of the Sphere mission. So that is pretty cool. And then here you can see what goes where. So figure bases, standees, etc., etc. That's pretty cool. So let's take a look. I'll take all my boxes, put them in here, and show you what that looks like. Okay, so I put everything in the Profundum box here. So let's take a look. All the figure bases, just left them in the bag. They all go in here, along with the colored bases from the base game and the expansions. So I all put them in here. Then the dials from the core game, they go in here, all 6 of them. This is a storage for the standees. So I got the standees from the core game and from several of the expansions. Everything just goes in here. There's plenty of room. The 3D hatches go in here with their stands. There's 2 slots for them, so you can just all put them in there. Put all my dice in here, and as you can see, I got a couple of these extra dice, these golden ones from Spiel. And there's the red ones from the core game, and the blue ones from the Faces of the Sphere, along with these monster dice. So then over here are the Faces of the Sphere cards, so the Visage cards. Then we have a slot for all the spawn cards with the monsters from all the expansions. These are the room cards. These are the activation cards from the players. And these are all the other cards in this size from all expansions. So we got the search cards over here, right? So all of them, all the expansions in here. We got the madness cards over here. We got the consciousness cards in here, also of all the expansions and the core game. And the rest, these are all the other cards, some of these chapter cards and these cards. So all kinds of different cards that are left over, they go here. And these are the tarot-sized cards of the characters, of course, as you can see. And along with the characters, also the monster cards are in here. And in the back we have these round overview cards as well. So all the tarot cards go in here, and there is plenty of room, so even if you sleeve them, they should hopefully still fit. So then over here there's a big slot for these tiles. So I'll carefully put them in. They all fit nicely in there. And this is a slot for the larger tiles, though I took out all the base game tiles, the expansion tiles, and they fit nicely on top. They just fit, but backers of the original Kickstarter also got this tile, and it's too big. So there's one tile too many, technically. It will still fit, but you know, they could have made it just a bit deeper to fit this. So that's a bit of a shame there. So then over here there's a spot for all the manuals. So I took the Faces of the Sphere, just put that on the bottom. Then I got the Uncounted Horrors booklet, the Endless Nightmares, Rise of Dagon, Oracle's Betrayal, and the core game, and that all fits nicely underneath. And as you can see, it gets lifted up a bit here because of that single tile, but it's still underneath the edge here, well, sort of. So that's good. That means that the top drawer fits as well. So I have this, I'll put that there. All the other languages I put underneath this insert, so never to be found again. Then you can take this tray over here. So that has, as you can see, domain tokens over here, Dagon's domain. I'm guessing scenario related tokens. I put these in here with these numbers, and I put these tokens in here, these whatever they are. These are all the Rise of Dagon tokens. I just put them in a Ziploc bag. And all the Oracle's Betrayal tokens, and these as well. So I put those over there. Then this tells you to put the devouring track blocks and markers here. So the devouring blocks and markers are here. The monster related tokens. So I got these and these, all the round ones. So I put them in a Ziploc bag in here. Support tokens. So this has these support tokens with the numbers on them, right? So it also has these two tokens. And these, I didn't know where to put those, so I just put them in here. Investigator related tokens, so I have these and these and these in here. So yeah, they just all go in there. We have the success tokens over here and the hatch and wall markers over here. So then I just put the lid on top of that to keep it all nicely in place. All right, see, because of that one tile, it's still a little bit peeping out. So then we have this tray, right, and it has the 3D spawn markers over here, all in this baggie. Put them in there. We got wound tokens underneath here, so these are all the wound tokens over there, and I had these +1 tokens as well. I bagged them, just put them with them in there. I have the sanity madness tokens over here, the objective and identity markers all in here, the flooded markers, these blue-green ones, the broken lock markers here, and the slowed weakened tokens in here. And I thought there would be more, but this is all I found in all the expansions. And in here are the devoured effect markers, and they made this strange indentation here with another slot. So I don't know why they did that, and I thought this is just gonna jump around in here and I didn't know why this section is still there, so I just cut out some cardboard, put that on top with a finger hole there, so to keep them in place, and maybe something is supposed to go up on here. I don't know. So you can just put that lid on this as well. So now I've got everything Deep Madness in this box except for the miniatures. Oh, I have to put this the other way around, I see. It's not symmetrical. Alright, there we go. And then you can take the lid and just pop that on top. And then everything, all the tokens and all the cards are in here. And it does sit flush despite that one tile. And another thing that's pretty cool that I wanted to show you is that I actually managed to put the faces of the sphere insert into the core box, because I took out this insert which had all the tiles and the cards and all of that stuff, but that's in here now, so I can toss this out, and this exactly fit the faces of the sphere. It's a tight fit. It's actually a little bit too large in this direction, so it's kind of a tight fit, but it does fit, and you can still put that second tray of minis on top and still have your core game box for your miniature storage here. So that was pretty handy, and I'll probably just consolidate the other boxes to keep all my miniatures in. I might look for some foam or something so that I can use you know, a few of these to store all my minis, and then probably get rid of the rest. At least this box is already empty, so I can toss that out.
Alright, so that was my unboxing of the Faces of the Sphere for Deep Madness by Diemension Games. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications whenever I upload a new video. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.